Jujutsu Kaisen is brimming with fringe OP characters, yet how would they rate against one another by strength? Let's see. At number 10. Kakashi Muda, Ultimate Mechamaru. Jujutsu Kaisen's Kakashi Muda utilizing his puppet Ultimate Mechamaru. Kakashi Muda is one of the many tormented spirits fans are acquainted with inside the arrangement. Jujutsu Kaisen is adulated for being unafraid of facing characters with complex good difficulties that investigate the circumstances and end results of having power. For Kakashi, he has an enormous measure of cursed energy that he can control from immense distances. Notwithstanding, his heavenly restriction requires his body be relinquished, leaving Kakashi intensely deformed and missing the two legs and his correct lower arm. To redress, his innate technique, puppet manipulation, permits him to battle close by his schoolmates as the mechanical mannequin Ultimate Mechamaru. Regardless of the significant cost his technique takes on his body and brain, it's obvious to perceive any reason why Kakashi is now classified as a semi-grade 1 sorcerer so right off the bat in his preparation. Number 9. Masami Kyoga, Panda. Jujutsu Kaisen's Panda in his gorilla mode. Panda isn't a panda. Panda is, nonetheless, more grounded than even he completely appreciates. Entirely extraordinary among Jujutsu sorcerers, Panda is an abrupt mutated cursed corpse that was made and raised by Jujutsu High's head, Masami Kyoga. As well as being exceptionally astute, Panda inconceivably solid and fit for exorcising curses through actual strength alone. His normally high evaluation of cursed energy allows him to invigorate his body, making him an imposing guarded contender. What particularly separates Panda is his three inward centers, Panda, Gorilla, and the right now unidentified sister mode. In Gorilla mode, Panda's solidarity and speed strengthen and he opens his capacity to utilize unblockable drumming beat that sends shockwaves past his rival's safeguards. Effectively a grade 2 sorcerer, it's impossible to tell how powerful he'll become after completely releasing each of the three of his centers. Number 8. Megumi Fushiguro. Megumi unquestionably satisfies his family inheritance. As a first-year understudy at Jujutsu High, he's as of now thought to be a grade 2 sorcerer whose potential has pulled in the consideration of any semblance of the King of Curses, Sukuna himself. Dropped from the remarkable Zenin family, Megumi acquired his Line's 10 Shadows technique that permits him to utilize shadows to gather 10 Shikigami to battle and eat up curses. While the full lengths of his technique are yet to be investigated, Megumi's upgraded rawness, strategic insight, and progressed hand-to-hand fighting abilities make him perhaps the most considerable sorceress in the arrangement. Number 7. Yuji Itadori. Jujutsu Kaisen's Yuji Itadori with Sukuna showing his mouth on his cheek, standing out its tongue. Up until now, Jujutsu Kaisen's fundamental character Yuji Itadori is a well of potential. Normally skilled with considerable strength and speed, Yuji is a fitting match to turn into Sukuna's vessel, particularly since he's demonstrated equipped for keeping the King of Curses under control. It's not satisfactory why burning through Sukuna's exceptionally harmful fingers doesn't slaughter Yuji, however he's shown a lot of expertise with regards to outfitting and controlling the immense measures of cursed energy he gets from Sukuna. His crude actual capacity and capability in hand-to-hand fighting and cursed energy control make Yuji comparable to a significant number of the grade 1 sorcerers presented, up until now. Since he's just eaten 3 out of Sukuna's 20 fingers, Yuji's just seen the earliest reference point of his without a doubt far-reaching capacities. Number 6. Tojin Umaki. Jujutsu Kaisen's Tojin Umaki planning to utilize his cursed speech. While numerous powerful characters in Jujutsu Kaisen have natural impediment put on them called heavenly restrictions to keep their power adjusted, for Tojin Umaki, his limitation is a decision. Frequently viewed as peaceful and unassuming, the second-year understudy is quite possibly the most normally powerful and skilled understudies at Jujutsu High. Toj comes from an unmistakable alchemist family and acquired the cursed technique, cursed speech, from his line. Toj was brought into the world with the snake and fang seal on his tongue and cheeks. This injects cursed energy into all that he says, compelling every individual who hears him to submit to his orders. Since his assault orders can go from the generally innocuous rest, to the genuinely deadly get crushed, Toad restricts himself to just talk rice ball fixings to secure himself as well as other people. Number 5. Ali Todo. Jujutsu Kaisen has gotten acclaim for its flexible view on what makes an individual solid. In a supernatural society, not every person needs an incredibly conspicuous capacity to be viewed as a powerful magician. Kyoto 3rd year, Ali Todo, is one of the most grounded Jujutsu high understudies and positioned a grade 1 sorcerer notwithstanding being naturally introduced to a non-alchemist family. In spite of the fact that he has a lot of cursed energy, he essentially utilizes it to sustain his actual assaults, turning into a powerhouse on the war zone. While the anime hasn't included him much up until this point, he's now got a considerable standing from without any assistance, crushing 5 grade 1 and a special grade cursed spirits during the Kyoto Nightline assault. Number 4. Kento Nanami. Jujutsu Kaisen's Kento Nanami utilizing his vow over time. In spite of the fact that Kento Nanami doesn't have all the earmarks of being the most grounded Jujutsu sorcerer, his comprehension of how to control cursed energy is unparalleled in the arrangement up until now. First and foremost, Kento's innate technique, ratio technique, uses a 7-to-3 framework that persuasively makes a flimsy spot for Nanami to abuse. This technique is shockingly compelling, permitting Nanami to cut through rivals with his particular gruff sharp edge. On top of his stunning swordsmanship, Nanami uses binding vows to alter his technique, apparently to try not to apply more exertion than the circumstance calls for. By inspiring over time, Nanami's energy yield increments after his workday as a Jujutsu high worker closes. He likewise utilizes the vow, showing one's cards, that reinforces his next assault after he discloses his technique to his adversaries. Number 3. Mahito. Jujutsu Kaisen's low-life Mahito initiating his domain expansion. One of the show's essential enemies, Mahito isn't human. Regardless of his humanoid appearance, he's a special grade cursed spirit showed by the disdain people have for each other. His innate technique, idol transfiguration, is as OP as it is upsetting. By controlling the actual state of an individual spirit, including his own, he can reshape an individual's body, frequently utilizing it to transform individuals into what resemble cursed spirits and dolls. By changing his own spirit, he can adequately mend from hazardous injuries, regrow his appendages, change them to more readily suit his necessities, and complete an unending assortment of actual changes to help him in battle, permitting him to stand his ground against any semblance of Nanami and Yuji in a 2-against-1 snare. Number 2. Sukuna. Jujutsu Kaisen's principal miscreant, Sukuna, as he is seen while having Yuji Itadori's body. Not all that much is thought about Ryomen Sukuna up to this point in the anime. What has been uncovered, be that as it may, leaves no inquiry regarding his amazing strength. Throughout everyday life, it required the exertion, all things considered, to crush him. All things considered, his body was too incredible to even think about being completely obliterated, abandoning 20 fingers as cursed articles that contain an equivalent part of his power. Regardless of being caught inside Yuji Itadori's body and restricted to a negligible portion of his power, Sukuna can undoubtedly crush special grade curses, and his reverse curse technique can recover Yuji's appendages and in any event, bring him resurrected. At number 1. Satoru Gojo. Jujutsu high educator, Satoru Gojo, is supposed to be the most grounded Jujutsu sorcerer there is. Slid from one of the 3 great families, Gojo has acquired 2 inconceivably powerful innate techniques from his line, Limitless and Six Eyes. While his capacities presently can't seem to be significantly investigated, Gojo has shown extraordinary expertise against special grade curses and progressed command over his technique, including the capacity to initiate his domain expansion, Unlimited Void, with practically no exertion. Since Gojo's limited technique permits him to control space at a nuclear level, the full reaches of his cursed energy make certain to be striking. Thank you for watching. If you liked my video, please hit the like button, and also hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Until then, Plus Ultra.